Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. Today's a pretty exciting update video for you. I've done a couple of these in years past whenever I rearrange things, or either I move houses in this case. And so I'm going to be doing a video about my home office space here in my studio, and basically just sharing with you how I set it up, given the confines of this room and all that kind of stuff. So it should be a pretty cool video. Hopefully you enjoy it, and so let's go ahead and get started here. Alright, so immediately upon entering the room here, there's two doorways and two walkways and whatever to come through. But and as you can see, I'm on the reading nook side here first. There's the AC unit. If you actually look out, it's not really related to the office space, but there is, my bird feeders are out there, and there is a bird bath. Look, there's one enjoying it right now. And it has a nice little like bubbler or mister in there now. Something new I'm trying out, so that way you can have some flowing water and it helps attract the birds a lot more, and they seem to enjoy it a lot more too, so it's pretty nice. But I got a light here. Here's my nice little, it's a little bit of a swivel kind of chair, just nice simple gray. I find it pretty comfy here in the corner, and got some lights, like I said, in the window light, of course, facing out the backyard here. That's pretty nice. And so got some posters up. This is Cornell Lab bird sanctuary that I got up near at McGee Marsh Visitor Center. Of course, I'm a certified wildlife habitat, no matter where my backyard is. This very nice Bear Creek Wetlands poster. Rest in peace to Richard Swigert. He passed away, I think, a couple months ago. But cool photograph. I remember him always taking photos of the volunteers and everything that were on the wetlands. My first gallery thing, just very first gallery exhibit, almost over 6 years ago now, which is crazy to say. You can go back and see those original videos, some of my first ones actually on this channel, and just see how much I've grown. It's kind of crazy actually. But yeah, this is bookshelf space. It's got all my literature and everything on it. As you can see, it's just got a variety of field guides and photo books. I got my stuff from like Guy Tall, did a video on that. A couple different ones. There's The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Over here I got some different field guides. As you can see, Ken Kaufman, like the Stan Takella ones and the ones from Adventure Publications. And then these nice Ohio Division of Wildlife that are nice field guides for the whole state of Ohio. And so these are pretty nice to have. So got all those. Just got a couple random miscellaneous posters and things in here. Got some Ken Kaufman books once again. Got some other like magazines and stuff over here. There's some the Spotted Turtle Bear Creek Wetlands newsletters, some spare greeting cards. I've got some other kind of memorabilia and things that are just like mementos from over the years that I sorted out recently in there. There's my old desktop computer, which I still have because it's not really worth much, and the idea of pitching it, even though it has like Windows, and now I use the MacBook up there, might as well just keep it as a nice backup. So I got some more mementos and some awards, some ribbons on top there, as you can see. I got some more brochures and just kind of like informational pamphlets and whatnot. So those are all up here in this specific cubby. Got some checklists and everything. These are just bird checklists. Like here's one for McGee Marsh life list. There's a wildflower checklist right here through the Division of Nature Preserves, Natural Areas and Nature Preserves, ODNAP. There's my old original Birds of Ohio field guide, which is pretty old. Over here I got some film stuff. These are like some of my negatives and stuff that have been developed, and some proof sheets and some other stuff that kind of goes along with that. Got a lupe, a little magnifying glass for looking through more closely on the light box. So yeah, here's my bookshelf. You know, just pick something, sit down and read. Nice kind of relaxing spot. You know, got some nice trees up here, up pretty high, as it faces the backyard and the, you know, the garage down there and everything. So that's pretty much it for that. You know, as you come up the steps here, it's nice for good luck to tap that. So remember to take nothing but pictures, kill nothing but time, leave nothing but footprints. I think I saw that at John Bryan State Park, and it's an old saying that, you know, you kind of see everywhere and whatnot, so pretty cool to have that. Got a light here with, you know, just some of my old hats, new and old hats and ball caps. Got some more down here. Got my old, my little plush loon. And the belted kingfisher, the Lego one. Actually, it's just a kingfisher, I don't know what kind, but you know, being an Ohioan, I only say belted kingfisher. Got some more options for like storage space and whatnot down here. An extra cubby. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with all of this yet, so that's just kind of there against that wall. And then got a nice, you know, closet space. And so in here I have mostly just like clothing and different kinds of gear. And I do have this spare light that I mounted. It's got different light settings and temperatures, and it's also controlled by a remote control, which I have. Just got it from right there, sorry. And it looks like that, so you can see. And I can even control different, you know, the temperature and the intervals. I can have a timer set, or even the light intensity, as you can see. So works pretty well. So especially when it's dark up here, or, you know, at night, I guess, or whatnot. So it's pretty nice to have this option at least. And so yeah, I got some different, you know, this PFAS material that's not good for you, but waterproofing, you know, jacket and pants to match. Some snow pants right here. Got some of my Realtree camouflage things hanging up, just hanging out really. Got trekking poles, which are back there. As you can see, it's pretty dark. Carbon fiber, you know, the good stuff. I only want to use the good stuff really. Cooler with different you know, camping stuff, usually just food stuff in there, of course, because that's what it is for the use of it, food storage. Different, especially this time of year, you know, got the bug net bucket hat, which is pretty nice. Got some different wide brimmed hats and all that. This is more, I got my ball cap here, that's nice for sun and shade and all that. This is more of winter stuff, you know, some socks, some beanies, some, you know, my nice photography gloves and all that. Got 2 hydration bladders hanging out up there. I don't really use those too much anymore, but it's kind of nice to have those anyways. Got some more cooking stuff in here. I got some fuel. I got my 2-burner stove that's nice for like a car camping setup. Some other stuff in there, like a couple of toiletries and stuff for like, you know, bathing and whatnot, so that's all in there. And then these other 2 ones, I pretty much have, this top one here has, as you can see, a flashpoint. It has the ring light, you know, some storage stuff, you know, the ring light that's right there, and that I've had for years. And it just has different storage and whatnot of the, you know, like tripod bags. You know how they always give you those tripod bags that, at least I don't really use those ever. So those are all in there. And the bottom one has like different kinds of sleeping bags, sleeping pads, and other various things for, you know, camping and whatnot. So basically it's a camping and kind of like clothing closet, I guess you could say. And with that being said, just turn that guy off. A little IR blaster, this nice little fancy remote. So pretty cool. So we get over here now, we got a little hanging hook. You know, we got some, you know, one of my headlamps, Petzl. It's a nice brand. Got a couple different membership things and stuff that I volunteered with over the years, like my OCVN name badge, Greene County Parks and Trails, when I had a very brief time as a volunteer there. and just various lanyards and things that I've gotten and I've acquired over the years. And then some more memorabilia that I just kind of have, as you can see, kind of chaotically displayed on here. You know, the artery, got some like wine glasses, Hoots and Hobbs. Those are some Manifest gallery pens that are down here in Cincinnati. Great gallery, hope to be in it someday. Just some boxed, really expired film that I wouldn't dare use, but see, it's pretty old. Expired in 1983, before my time. Just other little trinkets and stuff. Down here I got my film cameras, got my medium format Yashica Flex, and then I love this guy, my 35mm Canon AE1 program. It's kind of dark back here, but you can see I got my telephoto lens right there, and I have my light meter. It's a Sekonic light meter, so that's pretty nice and handy if I can get it out. There you go. So that's the light meter for taking exposures, because the Yashica does not have a built-in light meter, so you have to, of course, use a light meter, like an external one. So I keep that around whenever I do shoot the Yashica. Obviously this one has a built-in light meter, so in a program mode on the updated AE1, so pretty nice for that. Nice to have some film cameras around. And I got some spare, film rolls. These are just like canisters. This is a little travel case, leather case, I guess, for the AE1. I don't really use it, but it came bundled with it. And this is a like a speedlight flash, as you can kind of see there. That's for, once again, for the hot shoe on the AE1. And some mail-in pamphlets. Shout out the Darkroom. They're a company based out of California. They do great work. And they've actually developed all of my negatives that I've taken recently, in recent years. And these are my two Polaroids. I don't really use these guys too often, but I just keep them around for the novelty of it. It's kind of cool, nice little shelf piece, but I should really break them out once again. It's just that Polaroid and instant film is so expensive, as I'm sure a lot of you film photographers are aware. And I do more digital anyways. Some different, I like to decorate my totes with lots of stickers. Shout out to all you guys. You probably see some familiar names and faces or whatnot on there. That's just an empty tote, actually, so I just get that out of the way there. And so over here, let me take a step back here. I got even more storage space, like I mentioned. As you can see, I got the one door there, but these are like some sliding doors. These two sets right here, so I'm gonna go over these now. And once again, it's pretty dark in here, of course, but I do have one more of those lights. It's pretty handy, so I'll turn all the way up here. And as you can see, so it's basically just this is kind of like the prints and frames and kind of like exhibit materials. Like there's my little pop out, my two display cases or whatnot. And of course the camera's having trouble focusing. Some tablecloths, some canvases right there. There's some rolled up like posters and stuff inside that little roll cardboard thing. Some more canvases, some printer paper, and some clear bags for securing, loose prints and whatnot. And then over here, just got some more exhibits, materials, and some mat board that came with some frames I bought a while ago. And in this tote down here is, it's really dark, but underneath that right here is a bunch of my old greeting cards and like little postcards and some of the smaller prints and all that. So this is basically where all this stuff lives, and stuff that isn't directly related to like hiking or photography gear. And as you can see, just these they hang off of these rails. They kind of are a little goofy, as you can see, because they kind of like can move out in and out like that. Actually struggling right now, actually. So there's another one that slides out, of course. So it's kind of a weird setup. So you just kind of slide one out and you get some access, but can't really take. I could remove these, and I have, to place my big storage totes in. But so it's basically the setup of that. And then more of the same over here. You just kind of slide these out. As you can see, same kind of deal there. And then here's that light. So I'm just gonna turn that off. So you can either use a remote or you can just touch literally the light itself, I guess. And this is a separate, actually, kind of like partition, this specific doorway. And so if you open up here, this is where I keep literally all my camera gear. So anything that's related to like the electronics and all that kind of stuff is going to be on these shelves, as you can see down here. And then, so just going from the top up, got my camera bag, of course, my f-stop Talopa. I think it's a 40-liter camera bag. I've had it for a couple years now. It's pretty big. I'd like to downgrade maybe and get another size smaller, but still is great if you want to do some backpacking and hiking and photography all in the same. So it's got a lot of storage, very durable, very nice material, and weatherproof and all that kind of stuff. Oop. It's a dog. Marley, you're on camera. If you all remember, this is Marley. We went on a hike together this past spring. Hey, how are you? Smile, Marley. Look at me. She's kind of shy. She's a really socially awkward dog. So I didn't even mention yet, but yeah, got her bed in here, so, or one of her beds, so that way she can just kind of hang out with Mr. Ryan as I work on the computer and stuff. So, ain't that right, Mars? Come on. Hi. Ooh, big yawn. Big yawn. You're so stinking cute. All right. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted here. Love that dog. Got some more. I got my heavy duty, very heavy duty and heavy video tripod. Sorry, it's so dark back there. I should probably wear my headlamp. But and then a laptop bag. So got those just on the ground here. And then tripods and my other, I got two of these now, f-stop, ICU, also known as internal camera unit. So I got my big one here. This is my larger of the two. The smaller one stays in here for like landscapes and non-wildlife. And then this bigger one's my wildlife setup. And then I got my fishbowl kind of tripod. This is a pretty new piece of gear for me, but love it. It's also kind of known as the Thomas Heaton tripod, which is where I got the idea to buy it from. There's my old, reliable, trusty-dusty Gitzo systematic tripod. That's very expensive and huge. Here's another smaller carbon fiber, or actually aluminum, tripod. So got all my legs there, and then the other, the video tripod down there and whatnot. So move our way up here. You can see this is kind of like more of the miscellaneous stuff as we get up the levels here. So here is my cotton carrier, the two attachments set up for binoculars and a telephoto lens and camera. Got my, let's see, this is for, gosh, what do you even call this thing? I made it out of a frying pan, but using on beach for like shorebirds. Got a couple of different, my drone case and some other different various things, miscellaneous. And my kind of filled with rice, my sandbag and some other, just, I don't know, bags of different things that I don't really use that much, to be honest. And then this is where all the real good stuff is. So a lot of, besides the camera bag down there, a lot of my camera gear stays up here, just depending on what I've used recently, which is nothing at all really. So I haven't really gone out so much recently, but I got my Nikon P1000, the 90D, with the telephoto lens attached currently. There's my Vortex Diamondback binoculars. My drone's just hanging out here. Got an audio recorder. That's my old phone, smartphone that I use for the display controller. 70-200 f4 telephoto up there. These are just some journals and stuff if I want to write some field notes and all that kind of stuff. And then this has all of my chargers and batteries for like basically everything. And the camera's struggling to focus, of course, because it's dark. Got a ball blower right here. It's pretty hot up here, so probably should turn on the fan or the AC. Strap wrench for loosening tripod heads, and just some other miscellaneous stuff. Nothing too exciting, just camera straps and all that kind of stuff. Anything that's related to camera gear directly. I don't know if you heard of that. That's a downy woodpecker out there. Look it up. So yeah, it's basically all of that stuff stays right here. It's kind of cramped. As you can see, it's not really much opening, and it's a little tough. It's pretty deep though, I will say that. It's pretty nice storage, and it's pretty deep for that. But it's you know, very narrow width or whatever, so it's kind of hard to get through there. And then we just slide the door back like that. So kind of nice and clean, at least on the outside. Just kind of a nice way to hide all the craziness and madness in there. But you know, it works out pretty well. Ain't that right, Mars? There we go. She's looking. She's such a sweet girl. All right, so as we get over to the real meat and bones of my workspace, you know, my standing desk and all that. So I guess we'll start with the wall here. Got a nice Division of Wildlife poster frame, or you know, poster up here that's not framed. Nice wetland ecosystem. I don't know too much about the fishes, but you know, it's got pretty cool stuff. You know, Pathonotary warbler, green heron, swallowtail, you know, painted turtle, red-winged blackbird, you know, you name it. And then over here is my calendar. Shout out to my local Wild Birds Unlimited. Love you guys. That's who I've been getting my bird seed from for about well over a year now. So just different calendar and stuff. So did you see that little teaser? I'm going to be making that soon, so be on the lookout. And then over here is just my certificates, any documents and awards and accolades and certifications, and so those are just kind of on display over here because, you know, why not? Well, might as well display them. I'm not gonna like brag about it, of course, but my Bose Quiet Comfort 2 headphones, noise canceling, very great for you know, audio and video editing. So I've had these for like over 6 years now, and I've only had to replace the foam cups maybe once, maybe twice, I can't remember. And so they have held up well, and they still work really well. As you can see, they're wireless Bluetooth, or you can plug in a 3.5 millimeter jack. But I've been doing wireless, and it works really well, and pretty good range. Water bottle, that's just like file names of stuff I'm editing recently. And then my Canon IP8720, had to look at it over there, but printer, inkjet printer, so just kind of have it here off the side so I can easily access it, and you get some decent light with the ring light, and that allows you to look at the prints as they come out. And of course, you know, it's like most printers, it's expandable, and it also is from the top here as well. So sorry, that's probably pretty loud, but anyways, so it's a printer I've had for several years now, and it just, you know, it holds up, it works pretty well. And this is a good reminder actually that I should start printing some stuff, some of my newer work, and you know, whatever. So ring light, just kind of, if you watch at the beginning of this video, or you can, you know, pause and go back to it at the beginning, that's how I got the lighting, the front light on my face, literally. And so, you know, and then I had the camera, the same camera that I'm holding right now, was actually on top of here with a flexible kind of mini Gorilla Pod. And so that's how I record videos, or how I'm going to be here soon, in the future at least, is from up here and just having it face outwards, out into the rest of the office and the room. So we got some business cards. Here's my own right up there. Just various people's and artists and friends of mine from over the years. As you can see, I've got quite a collection. So it's all right there. There's a few more odds and ends for business cards and contact info from others down there, in case I ever want to reach out and say hi. Shout out Arnold Palmer. You know, gotta love your tea and lemonade, so gets you through the day. Nice Bluetooth keyboard, smiley ball, because, you know, it's nice to have something that kind of give you some stress relief when your computer crashes, or you can just throw it like that. And that was not a toy, Mars. Don't even try. Yeah, mouse, pretty nice ergonomic mouse. Currently today working on the new field notes I'm releasing, so that'll be out soon. And this is an external monitor, of course, but I can adjust it to be like vertical. I can do all kinds of things with it, raise and lower the tilt and the height, of course, of this monitor. External hard drive, MacBook Pro 2020 edition. I think it's the, what is it called, the M1 chip in there. It still holds up really nice, works pretty well. And then everything's basically funneled through this multi-outlet port right here, and goes to, you know, the HDMI to the monitor, the external hard drive, and that kind of stuff. And if I need to hook up the printer, you know, here's the cord for it. Just kind of goes across there. Oops, sorry, Arnold. And it goes across there. And then here's my boom arm mic for recording my Field Notes podcast. Please check those out. They're on my Substack. And so that's basically the audio microphone setup. I actually just got done recording this, as you can tell on the computer there on the screen. So pop filter and just a nice boom arm that you can swing around and adjust to your heart's content. And recently I even got, this is my first time using these, first experience really, but using these acoustic foam sound dampening panels. So I got a set of 12 here. These are probably like $50, $60 maybe, you know, for the set of 12, and they're about 12 inches on each side, all four sides, and I just kind of lined them up in a row here. I may actually buy another pack and expand upwards, since the roof, or the ceiling that is at an angle here, so only time will tell. But so far they seem to be working pretty well. A nice solution that kind of dampened the sound behind me there, and kind of darkens the back wall, I guess, so I can focus solely on the monitor itself if I'm editing or whatever. And of course the sound quality and everything for using the mic. So that stuff's pretty cool here. And I didn't even go over this, but this is a just flip open coffee table. So it's got some storage underneath, smiley ball. And these are just like different tools for matting and framing, and you know, some extra picture wire, some framers tape, some shop towels if I'm like spraying off glass on, you know, the frames and the displays, like a little rotary cutter trimmer for making wall tags, straight edge, some craft paper for the back of frames, and yeah, just different things like that. So pretty simple, but nice way to kind of hide that stuff, so it kind of makes a more pleasing arrangement and look to the room. And then different storage down here, which I have yet to use, but just kind of some open things down there. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. As you can see, I'm just gonna kind of like zoom out or walk back here. So as you can see, it's a very nice setup, at least I think so. You know, once again, only time will tell as I get to use it more and more, and as the months and hopefully years roll on. We'll see if I adjust new things, and I may make an update video if I do some major overhauls or changes. But I'm really pleased with this. Just really nice setup and really works well overall. And you know, also the anti-fatigue mat. It's kind of a spongy, squishy mat, so it's nice to kind of, as you can see, I don't have a chair, so I'm doing the standing desk method now. This is adjustable and all that stuff with these two buttons. So, but I got it up pretty high, of course, so I can stand, just to kind of keep myself from not being a lazy slob and just sitting all the time. So it's been working out really well. Really nice desk. And yeah, what do you think, Mars? What do you think? It's a pretty cool desk and pretty cool room, right? All right, everyone, that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm kind of unveiling of my new office space. I'm quite pleased with the results. I think it's a nice layout, and it gives me enough space to move around and work as I see fit. Whether that is editing photos or video, of course, on the computer here at my standing desk, or you know, just simply chilling out and reading a book or something over there. So hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you with the next video.